Yeah, I know it's quite normal, that sort of stress of waiting for a baby. How's it going to change my life? And what does it mean to be a dad? But with my work, a lot of it's about my grandparents and family and community. And so then you start sort of almost realizing you're doing the same loop, because my partner's not from where I'm from and we've had to migrate somewhere, and, we're sort of following that same path. And then the product of our love is like a baby that's between two worlds. I was telling you before how we didn't make it to the hospital with Lavender, and I had to deliver her, and it's so abstract and insane. I couldn't really work out what I was looking at in a way, and I shouldn't have been the one relied on in that situation, but it all went fine. And now I feel like our roles are weird, it crossed in a weird way, because I feel like I'm very nurturing in a motherly way. Something that I wanted to portray was this cocoon, this figure, this the weight that I was feeling of things that I've done in the past and how that's going to affect things that will happen in the future. And because it's tricky when you're not sure of your place, where you're going to end up on that sort of side of it. Having that just physical sense of protection, and becomes more of a cocoon. You want to just make sure everything's okay as much as you can make it. And then, the butterfly is just a nice way of, even with, say, the pipe and smoke and things like this, it's a nice way of bringing movement into a painting, because I like them to feel awkward and rigid and stiff. So just one little element of something that's a little bit more freeing between working with accident and rigidity, or I love interior scenes that feel claustrophobic, and just having some sort of movement very slightly. So sometimes it's just a mechanical choice. So I build them up very heavily with paints and pigments, and the narrative might be more aggressive and direct from a drawing. And then I make an okay painting that I feel like is acceptable. And then I just strip it all back and scrape it all back and remove what's there. And then under it is sort of a skeleton and stained pigment of the remnants of that original painting, where you might lose like a whole figure or a whole part of the painting. And then it gives me time to process whether I want to build the same thing back up in light ways, or if it's sort of telling me to go into something different, For me, I think they're smarter than what I am, the work, in a way. It helps fill in blanks too, I'm awkward, my paintings are awkward, and a figure could look like its hand might look strange. So you leave that hand the way it is, and you fill it in my mind, and perhaps people that look at it, it looks better, because they know what a hand's meant to look like, and it's less information makes it feel more resolved. I had this thing where I'd remove myself from anything. So that would have been building a cabin, living in the woods, if my main friends too, like the guys I live with in Paris, accept me, so I don't tell them when I'm leaving. I leave. I just would disappear. And so maybe that's a trauma-based thing, but I can't do that now. I can't just disappear from someone's life. So it's sort of nice, because it has an extra element within the work of having something to share with someone. But that means you got to share your failures, things that go wrong, all this, everything. So it's like you can't just go and live in the woods.
Yeah.